Hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to take you on a core flow. I like to start all of my core classes by reconnecting with our breath, because our breath is the foundation of every movement and every core exercise that we do. So I want you to lie down on your back, and I want you to put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to feel what hand is moving more when you breathe. I want you to try to breathe more into your belly so that the hand in your belly is rising more. Onto your belly on either side, and I want you to try to breathe into both hands evenly. If you feel like one hand isn't moving quite as much as the other, I want you to take that hand and push into that side just a little bit, and then use your breath and really try to push that hand out. And then see if you can keep breathing more evenly. And now bring your hands to your side, or to your backs. So they're right where your kidneys are. And I want you to try to breathe into your hands again. Some people have a really difficult time breathing into their lower backs, and it just takes time and awareness. So if you're having a really hard time, use your fingers and push into your lower back, and then with your breath, really try to bring your breath there. And this movement is much more subtle than the front of your stomach as well, so it's not going to be quite as obvious. And now I want you to take your hands into a C position and cup the sides of your stomach so you're touching the front and the back. And now I want you to think about breathing into your entire abdomen in a 360-degree manner. So pretend you have a belt, a really big belt that's all the way around your core. And with your breath, you're breathing evenly into the fronts, the sides, and the back. Okay. And then the last part of this is, not only are you breathing outwards, I also want you to breathe down into your pelvic floor. So as you inhale, have that breath travel all the way down and also expanding in every direction. So keep this breath in mind while we are doing the core exercises, and if at any time you need a break, just come back to this breath exercise. So we are going to start with a dead bug. You don't need any equipment to do these exercises, but if you wanted to have more of a challenge, I also have this exercise ball. So I want you to go on your back, and I want you to take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, draw your ribs down. Hold there, lift one foot, and then lift the other, and then reach your arms forward. Slowly reach one arm over your head, and then switch to the other arm. Okay. And then lower one foot and then the other. Good. And again, reach an arm over your head. Like, make sure those ribs stay anchored down. I don't want them sticking out. And switch. Good. Moving on to the leg. And the other leg. Good. If that's easy, we can add an extra step. So reach your left arm and your right leg. And switch, right arm, left leg. Good, one more time, left arm, right leg. And switch, right arm, left leg. Good, all right, and then roll onto your side, either side. I want you to place your forearm down, and we're gonna do a side plank. So lift your hips up. I always like to have my top leg forward and my bottom leg back. It just puts your spine in a better position. Pushing down into your elbow. You should be engaging these lower shoulder muscles. Bring your chin slightly back and lift those hips a little higher. From here, if you'd like to work on opening up that left shoulder, just do some left shoulder circles, reaching up over your head or to the back. Good. All right, and then switch sides. So come onto your other side. Lift your hips, push that elbow down into the mat, lift your hips up, an option to reach that right arm up. All right, and now I want you to come to the back of your mat. And I want you to come onto your hands and your knees in tabletop position. Shoulders directly over your wrists, hips directly over your knees. And now I want you to roll your elbows in so your elbow pits are pointed straight forward. And then again, watch that rib flare, drop those ribs, and have a nice straight spine. Good. From here, we're going to crawl forward and then backwards. So reach opposite arm and leg forward. Good. And then go back. Now this time I want you to tuck your toes under and then lift your knees up so they're hovering an inch from the ground. And again, walk forward or crawl forward. Really try not to shift. And keeping everything level. Good, and now we're gonna crawl to the right and then crawl to the left. So we can put our knees back on the ground and then crawl to the right. And to the left. Good, all right, tuck those toes under. Hover your knees and crawl to the right. And to the left. Good. All right, we're gonna take a quick child's pose. Knees out, sink your hips back, and then bring your arms forward. I want you to rotate your hands so your palms are facing up. Good. All right, we're gonna do that all again. This time I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult. So if you have an exercise ball, feel free to use that. So you're gonna go on your back. Good. And I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale as hard as you can out. So it draws those ribs down. Lift one leg and then the other. And then if you have the ball, push your hands and your knees into the ball as hard as you can. Reach one arm over your head and then the other. Straighten a leg and then the other. And then back to your arm and the other. And your leg, and then the other. Good. So option, opposite arm, opposite leg. And switch. And switch. One more. Good. All right, side plank. So I'm going to do the side plank on or with the exercise ball. So I'm going to place one foot below, one leg above, and then I'm going to lift my hips. But if you don't have an exercise ball, not a big deal. Just do the first version of this. Don't forget about that 360 breathing. Last 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. All right, switch sides. And then when you're ready, lift those hips. Lift those hips a little higher. And don't forget to push that bottom elbow into the mat. Hold 3 and 2 and 1. Lower down. Place this to the side. And we're going to do some crawling again. So come to the back of your mat. Feel free to do this starting on your knees, or if you want to hover your knees, you can hover your knees right away. Assume tabletop position. Remember, roll those elbows in so your elbow pits are pointed forward. You want just a slight bend in your elbows so you're not hyperextending. Option to hover your knees and crawl forward. and back. Good. And then crawl to the side. And crawl to the other side. All right, and then we're gonna go back to crawling forward and back. So start crawling forward. Awesome. Hold. And then crawl back. And then go right into side crawling. To the side. And to the other side. Break. Let's go back into child's pose. Let's walk your hands over to the right side. And then walk your hands on over to the left side. And then let's do one more round. So on your back, option to use the exercise ball. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, forcing the exhale. Anchoring those ribs, reach one leg up and then the other. Push your hands and your knees into the ball. Reach one arm forward and then the other. Reach a leg out and switch. And then arm and other arm. Leg. Remember, the harder you push it to the ball, the more core engagement you get. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And switch. And switch. Good, last one. Good. All right, roll to your side. Side plank. Pushing down through that elbow and forearm. Lift your hips up. Good. And then switch, other side. Lift your hips up, hold. Good. Lower down. All right, we got one more set of crawls. So starting at the back of your mat. Again, option to hover your knees or stay on your knees. Roll those elbows in, elbow pits forward, and crawl. Oh, we're gonna actually change this up. So if you have a foam roller with you, I want you to take that and I want you to place it on your lower back. So I don't want it to fall off while you're doing this exercise. So again, tabletop position, and I want you to crawl forward. Hello, puppy dog. Thank you. And then crawl backward. Hopefully you have a dog to lick all the sweat off your face too. Good. All right, and then crawl to the side. Hopefully that foam roller is staying on your back. And into the other side. And it doesn't have to be a foam roller. It could be anything that could roll off your back. Okay, and then crawl forward and back. Forwards. And back. Good. And then we're going to crawl to the side. I'll crawl this way this time so I don't run into you. And back to the other side. Good. All right, and then you can go into child's pose. There we go. This time I want you to put your left hand in the middle and place your right hand on top. All right, and then switch right hand on bottom, left hand on top. And then let's bend your elbows and see if you can get your chest closer to the mat. Good. All right, and then come on up. All right, so that was a core flow. If you liked it, please like below, subscribe, share with any of your friends, and if there's any future flows you would like to see, write a comment below. Thank you and have a wonderful day.